Ever tried remembering the seventh item in a list? Yeah, me neither. But what if you could access the data by name instead of position? You can already do that with variables, but I'm going to show you something even better. It's called dictionaries. As explained in my data structure videos, the dictionaries consist of key value pair data structures. We'll look into that in more detail in a bit, but understand that dictionaries are one of the most powerful data structures ever invented in computer science. But why use dictionaries when we have lists and variables? Well, the problem with lists and arrays is that you have a list of a lot of variables, but you don't know how to get a specific variable because you don't know the index number of it. The way the key value pair data structure solve these problems is that you can have fast lookups, human readable modeling, and as well as very flexible data structuring. It is kind of like a phone book where you have the names and the number of each people, and you can just look through the names to find a specific number that you're looking for. So let us define what a key and a value pair is in a dictionary. So let's define a typical dictionary and let's see how it looks like. Let's say we have a dictionary named the user. So this is what a typical dictionary looks like. So you have a dictionary named user, and inside of the dictionary you have what we call as a key value pair. This specific part is called the key, and it has the value of this value, like this Tom. So the key here is the name, and the value inside of this key is the name Tom. So we can have multiple key value pairs and as much as we want inside of each dictionary. So this is a key and this is a value. This is not the key and this is its value. So we can have a lot of them if we want. So this gives us the flexibility, because when we say that from the dictionary user, we want to get the name, we get the value of Tom. From the dictionary of user, we want to get the age, we get the value of 25. That is something a very strong and powerful programming structure. So comparing this with a list, if we have a list called users and each of these values like Tom, 25 and male are in a list of values, we would face certain problems. For example, if you want to find the name of the particular user in the users dictionary, we would just say user and then access the specific key, which is their name, and we get the value of Tom. But if we had a user list and we want to specify the number 0th element, we would get the name Tom. But what if the 0th element or the first element is not the name and we don't even know what that is? So that actually is solved by dictionaries. So one thing you need to remember about dictionaries is that the keys have to be unique. You cannot have multiple keys with the same name. That will create an error, and that will create a problem because the program cannot understand which particular value you are trying to access if there are multiple keys with the same name. And the keys are also unchangeable, meaning when you define a dictionary with a certain key names, you cannot change the name of the keys. You can, of course, change the name of the values, of course. Those are changeable, but you cannot change the name of the keys once you've defined a dictionary. If you do want to change the name of the key, you have to create another dictionary or delete that previous dictionary entirely. Whereas values can be anything. Values can, in Python, dictionary values can hold as much as anything in characters, strings, numbers, you name it. It can also hold other dictionaries inside of it. You can nest multiple dictionaries within the same dictionary, but values typically can be anything, and they are, of course, changeable to anything. For example, if you want to change the name of the previous example that we had, to change the name of the user name in the dictionary called users from Tom to Alice, you just access that specific value saying user name, and you put in the new name. Now, what it did is it changed the value of the name key inside of the dictionary called the users from Tom to Alice. But when do you use lists and when do you use dictionaries in programming? You use lists when you have order that matters. You use lists when you want to access the data by index. You use lists when you want to have a fast iteration, when you're using a loop, for example. And you use dictionaries when you need named fields and you want to access by meaning. And finally, when you want to look up something fast. So fast lookup. So, of course, now you have understood the importance of dictionaries in programming and what the meaning of key and value pairs are. The keys are normally not changeable and they have to be unique. The values can be anything. And when you want to use lists versus dictionaries, so I hope you have a clear understanding what dictionaries are. In the next video, we will dive into more important topics such as type conversion in Python, which is kind of new because Python does not actually deal with types before. But now in the latest version of Python, you can actually typecast and change the type of the variable, which is pretty exciting. And I will see you about that in the next video.